When Stars Fall Apart, a heartbreaking love story. The girl from the hills, the city of Charleston, had two worlds, one of glittering mansions and another of broken rooftops. Between them stretched the wide, indifferent river that divided wealth from struggle. Isabella Monroe belonged to the world of marble and chandeliers. The daughter of a powerful real estate magnate, she lived in a white columned mansion high above the river, her days filled with private schools, charity events, and carefully curated perfection. But behind her polished smile, she was lonely. Her parents were too busy running empires to notice her dreams, and her friends, if they could be called that, cared more about brand names than real feelings. Then one hot summer afternoon, everything changed. Her car broke down in the middle of nowhere. On the wrong side of the river, the boy with calloused hands, he was working at the auto garage when she first saw him. Eli Carter, a 19-year-old mechanic's apprentice, his hands covered in grease, his blue eyes steady and kind. He lived in a small rented room behind the garage, helping his mother pay medical bills and taking night classes at the community college. When Isabella stepped out of her shiny silver convertible, wearing heels that had never touched dirt, Eli looked up and smiled. "Looks like your car's had a bad day," he said. She laughed. Something about his calm voice made her feel safe. While he worked, they talked about music, movies, life. She told him she wanted to be an artist, not just a daughter of wealth. He told her he wanted to design cars, not just fix them. For the first time in years, Isabella felt seen, not as the Monroe heiress, but as a girl with dreams. When Eli handed back her keys, she almost didn't want to leave. "Thanks," she said softly. "Anytime," he replied, and he meant it. Worlds collide. Over the weeks that followed, Isabella found excuses to return. Something's off with the brakes, or the engine sounds strange. But it wasn't the car she was worried about. It was her heart. They began meeting secretly. Coffee in the early morning, walks by the river after dark. Eli showed her places she'd never seen. Small diners, street fairs, quiet rooftops, where stars looked close enough to touch. He made her laugh, made her real. But whispers started spreading. Her friends saw her near the garage. One even sent a photo to her father. When her father confronted her, his voice was sharp as glass. "You are a Monroe," he thundered. "You don't throw away your name for a boy who fixes engines." She tried to explain, tried to tell him Eli was different, but he wouldn't hear it. He forbade her from seeing him again. Love in hiding, but love is stubborn. They continued to meet in secret, under bridges, in empty parking lots, wherever they could steal a moment. Every time they met, Eli promised her they'd find a way. He started saving money, taking extra shifts, dreaming of a life where class didn't matter. One day, he whispered one night, "I'll buy us a little house by the lake. You'll paint, I'll build things. No one will tell us we can't." She smiled through her tears. "And if the world finds us, then let it. I'll fight it for you." But love alone couldn't stop the storm that was coming. The breaking point. Her father's company was hosting a massive charity gala, one Isabella was expected to attend. Dressed in diamonds and silk, she felt like a prisoner in gold. Eli waited outside, watching through the glass windows, his heart heavy. She looked so far away, so unreachable. When she saw him, her heart leapt, but so did her father's fury. Guards dragged Eli away from the gate. Her father's voice echoed behind her. "You will never see him again, Isabella. If you do, I'll destroy him." That night, she cried until dawn. The next day, Eli's garage job vanished. His landlord demanded he leave. Her father had made sure of it. Desperate, Eli packed his things and left town, leaving behind a single letter on her doorstep. "I love you. I'll come back when I can give you the life you deserve." She found it too late. He was gone. The years apart. 3 years passed. Isabella studied art in New York, but never forgot him. She went through the motions, parties, suitors, success. But every night, she wondered if Eli ever thought of her. He did. Eli worked across states, building engines for racing cars, sleeping in motels, sending money home to his mother. Every dollar he saved, he kept for one dream, their little house by the lake. But fate is cruel. One cold winter evening, as he drove through the snowy mountains toward Charleston, a truck skidded across the highway. The crash was instant. By morning, the newspapers carried a small story. Local mechanic dies in tragic road accident. The letter Isabella returned home for Christmas that year, unaware of what had happened. Her father had grown ill, her mother softer. In her old room, she found an envelope under her bed, one she'd never opened. Her hands trembled as she recognized his handwriting. "If I don't make it back, promise me one thing. Don't stop painting. Every color you touch brings me to life again. Wherever I am, I'll still be watching the stars with you." Her tears fell like rain on the page. That night, she drove to the river, their place, and sat beneath the same stars they once shared. She whispered into the wind, "You did give me a life. Eli, you gave me love." When stars fall apart years later, Isabella's paintings filled galleries, vivid, emotional portraits of love and loss. In each one, somewhere in the background, there was always a boy, standing beneath the stars, smiling faintly, waiting. She never married. People said she lived for her art, but those who looked closer saw the truth in her eyes. Love had changed her, broken her, made her eternal. And every night, when the sky darkened and the stars appeared, she would look up and whisper, "We made it to the stars, didn't we?" The wind would answer softly, as if carrying his voice back to her. Epilogue. Some loves aren't meant to last forever. They're meant to change us, to remind us that even a moment of true love can be worth a lifetime of pain. Eli and Isabella's story ended in tragedy, but in another universe, maybe under another sky, the rich girl and the poor boy finally found their house by the lake.